Okay, we are recording.
All right.
And both
Well,
microphones are working. And okay, so hi John, how are you doing?
I'm great. How are you, Jacob?
I am excellent, absolutely excellent. Are you looking forward to the candidates?
Very much so, and not only because there's an American, but because there are eight very, very strong players all competing for this chance to play Magnus Carlsen, and we have some news that I guess we can share now since it's all been made official. You're going to be providing daily annotations to our coverage at uschess.org.
I am. And now don't railroad my interview here of you. You thought you were going to be interviewing me. I'm interviewing here because the question that I'm sure everyone out there would want to know is um, have you filled out your quiz, your free quiz on quality chess? Uh,
See, well, I have to admit, I have never done that, and I'll tell you why. I always feel like it's kind of cheating for me to do it because I'm kind of in the industry.
okay, I can tell you that a previous winner was Lucas van Forest.
He's definitely in the industry, so I guess it's
There's a
okay.
lot of guys out there who are good, but I can tell you that in the office we all compete, and this is not just because John dreams of one day not having to send books to anyone. Well, it's mainly that, but also because we think, how can we encourage others to do something we're not doing ourselves?
That does make sense. So, well, I guess I know what I'm doing tonight then.
It takes a few
While
minutes.
perfect.
Mm.
And so, explain exactly what the contest is then, because
Okay, so
not everyone knows about it.
essentially, you'll be able to find it on our Facebook. I'll put it on the blog as well. But essentially, it's one of those, you can do a questionnaire kind of thing. But here, it's basically telling if you're right or wrong later on. But you just click in, you go see like, so the result, there's questions like, who will be the first player to win a game in the tournament? There'll be how long will how many games are won under 30 moves? There will be there will be a question such as which is a tie-break question, which would be the longest game of the tournament. And there's another tie-break question which we won't need, but it's fun for people to think of. Is like how many moves will be played in the tournament in total?
Wow. And so,
There's
that's
56
gonna.
games.
I was gonna say that requires some math, and I don't know if I'm ready for that. But
Yeah, well, you
now
just
that you
take whatever
56
you think
games,
the average should be, and then you make 56. So anyway, the next question is this position, which you cannot see, but I can see on my recording. Do you have the solution?
I do. It's Queen F7.
That was a good try. But anyway, this is I've always been told that this is how you should create suspense. It's like you should carry on with other things while you ask a question. So here later on, I will tell you why Queen F7 is not only a legal move but not the best move either, because there's a knight
Okay.
on H6. So I didn't give that away because everyone understood it quickly. Now,
Yes.
actually, the position you cannot see is from one of my favorites to win this year's tournament. And it's not just because he's a great player. It's also because I think he has the mental stamina to win, which is world number three Ding Liren. Obviously, I know that I shouldn't be saying this. I should say Fabiano all the way. Uh, but what you're going to get from me in your coverage is you're going to get my honest opinion. It's never going to be disrespectful towards anyone. It's never going to be, well, cheeky. Well, maybe a little bit cheeky. Um, but you will get my opinion of what I think is happening, um, and what has been happening, and what we can read into that. And I think you'll be providing a more general, journalistic approach, while I'll be more focusing on the chess. But I think we'll be working well together.
I
That's
hope
my
so.
hope, at least. Um, so, uh, so I'm struggling to come with more questions. Like, I'm so out of questions. Like, what happened to your hair? How did it travel from your head to your face? Like,
That's a
I'm
very long
literally
story.
out of
It's
anything.
many years in the making. But I did have questions for you. So I think we both approached this like we were going to be doing the interviewing, which is I don't know if that's good or bad in terms of what the video is going to turn out to be, but at least we both brought some things to the table. And so I'm still trying to figure out this position, even though I can't see it, which is probably
Okay,
not great.
maybe you remember it. It is Dingliren Grischuk was one of the final rounds.
My memory is slipping. I will look at it as soon as this video is done, as soon as we're done recording. But speaking of, let me ask you. Um, there are a lot of people who I think are thinking that it's going to be either the odds-on favorite would either be Caruana or Ding Liren.
Yes.
Um, and so that the question, I think Jen Shahadi had a post on Twitter where she was asking, do you take Caruana, Ding, or do you take the field? And most of the people were taking either Caruana or Ding. I wonder if you have any sense of how MVL coming into this is going to change things.
Okay, I think, and this is sort of my understanding after having followed this for a number of years, that we have to look at people who perform really, really well when the pressure's on. Now,
Makes sense.
MVL is of course a good player, and he'll play a lot of good games in the tournament, and he might end second place. Um, it's not what I answered in our question, because one of our questions in the quiz is, I think, I did it very quickly, but I think it is which place will LVL end on. And I didn't give him second place, but he could end. He's a really strong player. But I'm remembering back to, I don't know if you remember when it was this 2014. It was in Russia. And at the time, do you remember who was a hyped favorite in advance?
2014. Carlson.
No, he was already world champion in 2013.
Oh, what am I thinking? My ears are all off.
Yeah, yeah.
To
No,
whom are
he
you
won in
referring?
2013. So Anand won in 2014. He was, of course, not the favorite.
Right.
No, the big hype favorite, if you look on the internet at the time and so on, was Anish Giri.
Okay.
And if you remember, Anish Giri had a remarkable tournament, one for the ages.
He was perfect, one might say.
Well, his games were fascinating games. They really were. It was such fighting chess. It's just that he couldn't close the back, and people didn't finish him off. And Giri is a big discussion for another time. He's by no means a drawish player. He does make many draws, so for various reasons, he's a very interesting player, and I really looking forward to see him play in this tournament again. And but what I realized after the event was that you are not going to find a winner of the candidates who haven't won these big events before.
That
I
makes sense.
I don't think of anyone you could say that of. I think Tal already won the interzonal before he won the candidates, but it's something like we have to go back to a very, very long time ago. Now, Kayakin, when he won, he was by no means a favorite in most people's eyes, but he was second, with very close to winning the previous candidates in 2014. He had a much better position against Anand in the last round, and he was very close to winning it, but eventually Anand held. He had won the Norway chess tournament 2 years in a row, and he had qualified by winning the World Cup, even though he was down 2-0 and a lost position in the final against Svitler. This is a guy who again and again showed that he wins tournaments.
Hmm.
Anish Giri has made it all the way to a playoff with Magnus Carlsen in Vacancy. That he lost this, I don't really care about. I think sort of he won the tournament. These playoffs they're nice, entertaining, but it doesn't mean that that's actually how the best players consider who won the tournament. And the same way with Caruana, he has won so many tournaments, so he was one of the obvious favorites. in 2018. And Kayakin was, if you remember, he was leading after 12 rounds. Uh, and you will see the same thing again here. That, and when you predict, you're going to be wrong in the most embarrassing way. But you're going to see that the players here who will do really well are Dinglier and Caruana. They are the two strongest players according to any metrics you can come up with. Plus, they're winning tournaments, and they're winning them in front of Carlsen. They're winning the big stuff. I don't remember what MVL won. I just don't. But he's of course very strong. But what I do know is he had like various chances to qualify and failed in the last hurdle. And that's sort of the Ivanchuk syndrome. It's like you're a fantastic player, but you have to keep your head straight at these moments. And I haven't seen that. I just haven't. So I'm going to count him out. But on the other hand, on the same note, that means we have to count in Nepomniachtchi.
I was going to ask if among the other players in the field who you thought might be the dark horse.
Well, Nepomniachtchi is my outsider.
Okay.
I there's some things I don't like about his chess. Obviously, he's an amazing player, but he's very, very practical, and he can beat the best guys, and he's got great nerves. So he's like my outsider. Obviously, I would love to see Grichuk win it. He's probably Grichuk and Giri are probably my two favorite players in the field, of who I like to watch. But I'm also a huge fan of Nirvana, but I'm not going to pretend that Kurt Cobain was the best guitar player. So this is a sporting event and it's about winning it. But of course, the big question is, what happens if anyone connected with the event are diagnosed with coronavirus?
Yeah, I mean, as we're talking about this, I know that there's. Sorry. I know that there's some discussion about what's going to go on in Prague right now with the World Senior Teams, because I guess there's.
I have got some information, which I can share with you, which is that because gatherings of 100 people or more is not allowed, there were some people hoping there would be exceptions, but I don't think an old amateur chess tournament will get more exceptions than a rock concert or a football tournament where people are losing millions. But actually, they found a solution. They're breaking the tournament up to a number of smaller venues, and then there will be no spectators. So they're sort of getting around it, and I do think that's the right way to do it. I also think the Czechs are right to do the quarantine now before the virus spreads a lot. But let's not impress people with our medical examination of the world here, shall we? Let's get back to chess.
There are enough people on Twitter doing that right now that they don't need our advice.
I'm as bad as anyone, but when I'm in a professional capacity, I shall stick to chess.
Perfect. So we'll be doing daily coverage,
Yes.
and so you'll be contributing game annotations with your typical style and panache and wisdom, and I will try not to sully it with my sort of general rating about the event, and we'll be using photos from FIDE, of course, and trying to present the best coverage we can for U.S. chess fans, and of course fans all around the world. You can come to uschess.org and read this coverage for free.
Yes.
So
I do have a question about our deal.
Sure.
Is it a violation of it if I mention 365chessacademy.com at any point?
No.
Okay.
What is 365 Chess Academy, Jacob? As if I don't know.
That is where you are a member, but we haven't seen you lately.
It's hard when it's the middle of the night.
I know we are in many time zones, but not always.
Yes.
But not always yours. Okay, so yeah, if anyone's interested, go to 365chessacademy.com and check it out. You can find us on Facebook, ask questions and so on. But that's not what I'm going to be focusing on here. I'm going to be focusing on chess, and we'll be doing some annotations, and maybe we'll shoot in a video or two where we go over how things have gone before the 3 days, if we can make the schedule in between wherever we are in the world, which is quarantined at home work.
Yeah, yeah. Omaha. I'm not going anywhere. So, yeah, no, I think that's wonderful. And I think those interested in 365 who have not heard much about it yet, you should check out the Perpetual Chess podcast with Ben Johnson. I know you guys recorded a few weeks ago, but the episode came out, I want to say 2 weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
And then there also may be something else on uschess.org.
Yeah, we will supply a trial lesson, a recorded lesson, and of what I do, homework club, and we'll see if people can see if it's for them. But I think even if you don't care a hoot about 365 Chess Academy, you should check out the Perpetual podcast anyway. I would rather advertise for him because he's great. Yes. We're sort of above average, I hope. But before this become all promotion, should we cut it off?
That sounds good to me.
Good, thank you.
All right, well, thank you, Jacob. Appreciate it, and looking forward to working with you.
We'll be in touch.
Perfect.
Bye-bye.